This therapeutic yoga sequence consists of poses and exercises targeting discomfort in the lumbar region of the spine. Practice patiently and don't expect immediate results. In fact, if you push too hard, you may initially exacerbate your problem. In this practice, less is more, and perseverance is key. Lying on your back, hold your right knee. Inhale the left leg up and slowly lower the leg until the heel is an inch from the floor. Make the back leg longer than the front, imagining the leg begins in the upper belly. And don't tuck the tailbone or grip the glutes. Now inhaling, raise your right arm and extend it toward the ear as far as you can without the neck tightening or the elbow bending for this variation of reclining big toe pose. Gently pull the belly in, keeping the upper abdomen fluid enough that the lengthening arm and leg gently elongate the back body. Inhale, release the pose, and changing sides. Hold your left knee. Bring the right leg up and exhaling, lower it until the heel is an inch from the floor. Again, the back leg longer than the front. Inhale the left arm up and exhale it toward the ear as far as you comfortably can. Use the active arm and leg to elongate the middle back. Notice if the upper lumbar starts to push forward. It's a common habit. Try not to let your lower back be too concave. Inhale, release, and hold both knees. Lying on your back, bring the soles of your feet together and spread the knees for reclining bound angle pose. If the inner thighs or knees are uncomfortable, put a block or blanket under each leg. Now place your palms lightly on your inner thighs. Exhale and close your knees halfway, resisting the action by pressing the palms against the legs. Inhale, let the knees relax open again. And then exhale again, close the knees halfway, resisting with the palms. The breath in, the knees go wide. One more time, breathe out, closing the knees halfway, press with the palms. Inhale the legs open. Remove your hands, bring the knees together, returning to constructive rest. Clasp your hands under your head and widen your elbows to the blanket. With your legs in constructive rest, exhale and press the base of the sacrum to the mat, so the small of the back makes a small tunnel. Not much. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift your arms and shoulders an inch from the blanket while maintaining that small tunnel under the back. Pull your front ribs to your hips. Inhale, release. returning to constructive rest with your hands behind your head. Let's do that again. So hands behind the head, elbows wide, legs in constructive rest. Breathing out, press the base of the sacrum to the mat, so the small of the back makes a small tunnel. Breathing in, as you breathe out, raise your arms and shoulders an inch from the blanket while maintaining the small tunnel under the lower back. Breathe steadily and pull your front ribs to your hips. Make sure your elbows stay wide. Continue to keep the tunnel under your back, and on your next out breath, lift your feet an inch from the floor. Continue to breathe. Inhale, release, and hug your knees. For this variation of half-boat pose, begin in constructive rest and stretch the arms towards the feet. Breathing in, bring your chin to your chest, and breathing out, roll the ribs off the floor, rounding the back, and trying to initiate the movement from your lower ribs. Pull your front lower ribs towards your navel. Breathing in, raise your arms a couple of inches from the floor. And breathing out, reach toward the feet. Breathe steadily, trying to keep the neck long. If your neck is uncomfortable, you can practice this pose holding your head. Come down to rest. And let's do it again. Stretch your arms by your legs and gently press the belly to the floor. Breathe in, chin to chest, and breathing out, curl your ribs off the floor, pulling your front ribs to your hips. Raise your arms a couple of inches, and as you exhale, reach toward your feet. Breathing in, release, and return to constructive rest. Begin in constructive rest with your arms reaching toward your feet. Breathe in, curl your chin to your chest, and exhale, roll your ribs off the floor. Continuing to breathe steadily, take your arms to the right side of your legs. And exhaling, lengthen the left arm to rotate the body right. On your next exhalation, bring the arm to the ear and lengthen the left side of the body. On your next breath out, take your arms to the left side of the pose. And as you exhale, extend your right arm further, banking the body left. And slowly extend your arm towards your ear, consciously lengthening the side body. Inhale as you release, returning to constructive rest. Come up to sit in thunderbolt pose on the feet, or with a block under your hips. And leaning forward, taking your hands to the floor, pressing them down to encourage a lengthening of the spine, that sends your sit bones back towards your feet further. Come to your hands and knees for table pose. Put a blanket under your knees for padding if needed. Stabilize your upper back by pressing your hands down. The chest will respond by lifting into the upper back and spreading the shoulder blades. Consciously widen your collarbones and the fronts of your shoulders while pulling the belly slightly to the spine. Now, breathing in, step your left foot back, and exhaling, lift the leg parallel to the floor, keeping the hips level. Now raise your right arm by your ear. Move the arm and leg away from one another to elongate the middle back. Continue to support your spine by drawing the belly slightly in, and keep your breathing steady. Inhale, release to table pose. Again, stabilize your upper back by pressing the hands down to lift the chest into the upper back and spread the shoulder blades. Widening your collarbones and front shoulders and pulling the belly slightly to the spine, step your right foot back. And exhaling, lift the leg parallel to the floor. Exhaling again, raise your left arm by your ear. Keeping your breath steady, the arm and leg move away from one another to elongate your whole spine. Inhale, release to table pose, and exhale to child pose. Lie face down on your mat with a blanket folded under your hips and ribs if needed. Rest your head on your hands. Now stretch your right arm forward, turning the palm in. Turn your left toes under and press them into the floor to straighten the knee and lengthen the lower body. Breathing in, raise your head and chest. Breathe out as you raise your left leg and reach forward with the right arm to Locust pose. Try not to overgrip your glutes or tuck your tailbone under. Tucking the tail is a habit many of us have, not realizing it can contribute to chronic back problems. Inhale, release, resting your head on your hands. Extend your left arm forward and turn the right toes under. Press down with your toes and straighten the knee, making the back leg longer than the front. Feel as though the leg begins in your upper belly. Breathe in, raise your head and chest. Breathe out, raise your right leg and reach forward with your arm. Focus on making the middle back longer and keeping your breath steady. No tension in the neck. Keep it long. Inhale to release and rest your head on your hands. Lying face down, place your palms shoulder-width apart by your side ribs. With your feet hip-width apart, press down with centered feet and thighs. Now breathe in to raise your head and chest while keeping the belly on the floor. Maintain steady breathing and slide your side ribs up toward the collarbones. Try not to overgrip the glutes. Exhaling, raise straight legs off the floor. This is another version of Locust pose. Draw the upper belly slightly in if the back hurts, but don't tuck. Inhale, release, and rest your head on your hands. Let's practice that again. Hands by the ribs, and this time with the feet mat width apart. Be aware of how you place your feet. If the glutes grip too tightly, it will turn your legs out, causing compression in the lower back. But you don't want to overcorrect by turning the heels out. Concentrate on keeping the feet centered. Again, press down with centered feet and thighs to ground your pose. Inhale, press down with the hands to raise your legs on the exhale. Keep the breath steady. And notice the difference, if any, between the hip width apart and mat width apart position. Down you come to rest. Everyone is different. So going forward in this practice, consider doing locust pose and any other back bends with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart, if your back preferred that leg position. From lying face down, come up to rest on your forearms. Position your arms at shoulder width so the upper arms are vertical, or with the elbows slightly forward if your back needs extra space. This is Sphinx pose. In Locust, you experimented with doing the back bends with feet hip width versus mat width apart. Place your feet in the position that was most comfortable for you then. Now activate your upper body by pulling the forearms back against the mat and lifting your upper ribs toward the collarbones. Continue to breathe steadily with your mouth closed. Keeping your upper body engaged, begin to relax your legs and your glutes. Relax your belly and your lower back. I'm asking you to do something that can be quite difficult at first. I'm asking you to relax. Sphinx pose is similar to the belly meditation because we're trying to undo long-held holding patterns. And these patterns do not fall away easily. So be patient. Don't hold the pose too long at any one time. However, I do encourage you to keep practicing the pose. In the beginning, you may find that supporting the upper belly on a folded blanket will help you relax the muscles more. This pose is especially helpful for people with lumbar disc injuries. Also, quite often lower back pain is caused completely by overworking muscles. This pose helps restore balance. Inhale, release, and exhale, lying face down, resting your head on your hands. Place a folding chair on your mat. Lying down, swing your feet onto the seat of the chair. You can put your hands under your hips and wriggle your whole lower leg onto the chair more easily. And when you slide your hands away, ideally your hips will be hanging, not fully on the floor. This pose, a variation of legs up the wall pose, is quite calming with the hips on the floor. However, you can create the desired hanging effect with one or more blankets added to the seat of the chair. Once you find a position that works for you, close your eyes, let your hips hang, and simply relax. Soften the belly muscles. And let the breath settle into a slow, relaxed rhythm. Try to let go of any tension you may feel around your hips and in your lower back. You can stay as long as you wish. When you're ready to come out of the pose, simply slide your legs off the chair, rest on your side, and when you're ready, come up to sit, bringing your palms together at your chest.